I invite you all to close your eyes and we just sort of tune into the body, just kind of getting a sense for where the body is, any tingles or sensations in the body. We just place our attention with, and then one of the first steps to meditating is posture. Um, so we really like to kind of tune the body, get the body into a place where it's comfortable to meditate. And so some of the tips that we have for posture is feet flat on the ground, the legs square. It's very wonderful, in the future that if you have long legs, for the hips to be a little bit higher than the knees, that kind of opens up the belly space. And we like to roll the shoulders back, opening up the chest. And then what's also quite helpful is for the spine to be straight, pointing up, elongating the spine, elongating the neck, pointing up to the ceiling. And it's almost as if we're so straight that we're not actually putting our back all the way against the chair. And simply the reason is that brings a lot more drowsiness to the practice. And so these are these little hints, as we learn to meditate, we get very used to the posture, and it really helps later when we like to meditate for longer periods of time to have a really strong, kind of clean, square, straight posture is a great help to us, especially later when we maybe like to meditate more. So we just attune to the body, prepare the body to meditate. In our tradition, we like to put our hands flat on our lap, pointing upward. So it's like our palms are up. And this signifies that in our tradition, we like to interact with the world, right? We love to meditate on our family, on our problems, on the everyday life. And then some other meditation traditions is much more an inward experience. So this is, the small little hint that is part of our tradition. We call this majestic posture, as if we're, a queen or a king. All right, and so then the next step in the basic practice is we just focus on our everyday breath. So just observing our everyday breath, feeling the breath as we inhale, feeling the breath going into the body and breathing back out again. And we begin with observation. Just anything, is the breath heavy? Is the breath light? And are there any emotions riding on the breath? And this is something that we get more familiar with time. Very often, I can tell you right now, my breath right now is quite shallow. There's maybe I work today, a lot of things going on. And so the next step in the practice is we begin to deepen the breath. And particularly with this attunement of the earth element, we like to breathe in and out through the nose. So breathing in through the nose, breathing out, back out through the nose. We begin to gradually deepen the breath, and more so in the stomach. Like young children breathe very much from the stomach. And great singers, they breathe very much with the stomach. So the attention is a little bit more there as we deepen the breath. And I really like to put my hand on my stomach. So this can be very nice. We can physically feel the stomach expand. and just gradually a little bit more, kind of like a wave. And then we let all the air out. And, my teacher, Susanna Bear, she says that the secret to a full inhale of breath is a complete exhale. It's actually, for some of us, it's very difficult to let all of the air out. So maybe we can play with that a little bit. I like to put my fingers on my belly button and kind of feel it come back almost toward the back of the spine on the exhale. These are these little hints over time when we meditate more and more, simple to say, but difficult to master. They like to say in heart rhythm meditation that breath is life. And after all, we need the breath more so than anything we drink or anything that we eat. And the breath, it nourishes the oxygen that we breathe, nourishes every cell of our body. All right. And so the next step in the practice is I invite you to put your hand on your heart. So we continue to feel this deep breath, this deep, full breath. And then the next step in the practice is to place our attention on our physical heart. And this is really the essence of what we call heart rhythm meditation. It's a combination of the heartbeat and the breath. And so, some of us, I remember when I first started, I could not feel my heartbeat. I would put my hand on my chest, and it's wonderful you can put your finger on your wrist to feel the pulse or on the neck. Basically, any way that we can get a sense for the heartbeat is very helpful. And if not, we can, just breathe deeply, put our hand on our heart, and just trust that, maybe use our imagination, a slow count in the place of the heartbeat. Just continuing to breathe fully and seeing if we can develop, a stronger relationship with our heartbeat. Breathing in and out through the nose. And then, this just to complete sort of the instruction for our basic practice, there's a further step where we like to balance the inhale and the exhale with our heartbeats. And that's really fully when we're in heart rhythm meditation. So, for example, it's really begin with kind of a counting, and later we sort of do it more naturally but this is how we learn heart rhythm meditation is just count the heartbeats. And so, for example, it would be 4 heartbeats on the inhale, 4 heartbeats on the exhale. And then everyone is very different for what works for them, right? That may not be the right sort of rhythm for them. Maybe they do 6 heartbeats on the inhale, 6 heartbeats on the exhale. So this is sort of, the final step. But I think we always these are all wonderful steps. Actually, they're cumulative, right? So it's very important to practice where our edge is. So for some of us, and very often I do this as a practice, I just work with a full breath, right? Perhaps working with a heartbeat. That just doesn't feel quite right at first or at this time. So we just work with a full breath, the earth breath, in through the nose, out through the nose. And that's a wonderful place to meditate. Or we just work with our hand on our chest and the breath, feeling the pulse and the heartbeat. Very often I meditate this way. I don't get into all the counting and all of that. And then for some of us, we know this very, very well, right? So we kind of doing the full practice. All right. And so then we're going to take a journey into the earth attunement. And so I think as we go through the rest of this practice, it's just good to have some sense of the heartbeat and the breath, whatever is comfortable for us. And so we take a journey into what we would call the earth element. And so we'll begin by bringing the energy of the breath down below to the earth. So on the exhale, we breathe down. It's as if, there's these roots that are seeping down to the core of the earth, down below all of the sediment and so forth, just reaching down with every exhale down. And there's sort of two ways that we work with this. One is with the legs. So it's as if the legs have these roots that are seeping down towards the core of the earth. Or the spines, the base of the spine, sometimes we call this the root chakra, is going straight down, right? So it's really this energy that's ours that's going down to the earth. It's our breath. And remember that our exhale is nourishing the plant life, right? It's kind of nourishing to these forms of life that represent the earth. So this is a very symbiotic relationship that we have with our planet. So we're breathing down on the exhale, down to the earth. And then on the inhale, we breathe back up, nourishing, revivifying energy from our planet. There's many names for planet Earth, Gaia, Pachamama. Many beautiful stories about our planet. We are made of the earth. Everything that we are is of the earth and will return to the earth. And so with every exhale, it's as if the connection becomes stronger. And with every inhale, the connection with our planet becomes stronger. And we go deeper down below all the crevices and it begins, the core of the earth is very powerful, very hot, molten. And that is ultimately what we connect with down to this core of the earth. And this is where the earth element is kind of the perfect attunement to work with our anxieties, with the things that trouble us. One of the core qualities of earth is peace. And one of the shadow elements of peace is fear. So these are sort of two sides of the same coin. And so all these worries that we have, and just every, we don't have to go very deeply here, just these anxieties that we've had today. It's these things that have been weighing us down. This is the time to breathe them down and let go, breathe them down to the earth. And believe it or not, this is a tremendous gift, right? And this is a symbiotic relationship with our planet. And it's like nourishing, a plant, nourishing a garden. What does no longer serves us is actually very beneficial. And then what comes back up is really the perfect solution energetically to what is troubling us. And guess what? The result is we can be more generous. Our hearts are nourished. We can be more at peace and more harmonious. And we feel more protected. It's very beautiful, this connection that we have. And so I can really feel, I think many of you have established this really wonderful sacred connection with our planet. So then what we do is we're sort of really rooted now as we begin to breathe to the left and the right. It's as if our arms are stretched out and our hearts have wings. So now with the exhale, we breathe out to the left and the right of our hearts, of our chest. And then with the inhale, we breathe back in. Again, just in and out through the nose. And it's really just an intention. And the result of this is connected with the earth, we cultivate a broad heart. We cultivate this broadness of heart. And sometimes I like to call it the wings of the heart. And so it's just a very subtle intention. And you can even physically look to the left and the right if that helps, or to even, just feeling to the left and the right of the shoulders and the arms and the chest. And it's like I'm breathing in and out from the left and the right. And this is when we can truly, truly be generous because we're so fully supported. And sometimes we need to be generous to ourselves first before we can be generous to others. And this is a really wonderful way to accomplish that. Because in a way, our troubles when we are connected with the planet are like a drop of water in the ocean. And so we can be more ourselves. And I can tell you that when any person is nourished in this way and they are more themselves, they are far more generous. It's the tendency is we try to get this, support from other people. And well, here's a different way. We don't always have to get it that way. We can support ourselves with the help of Pachamama or planet Earth, Gaia, who is just delighted and honored that we have taken the time to connect. There's also, as we do this practice more regularly, we see this with people who meditate a lot, a certain kind of sovereignty develops, a certain regalness. This is very much a majesty. This is very much some characteristics of the earth element. It's sort of like maybe they're whether they're a street sweeper or they're big important job somewhere. That's not what it's about at all. That's not their source of sovereignty. So this is very much a characteristic of this connection with the earth element. Okay, so I invite you to return your breathing more or less to the everyday rhythm. Can begin to relax the posture, kind of sit in the seat the way we normally would. And then maybe you can wiggle your toes and fingers, and I invite you to open your eyes and maybe look around the room a little bit, kind of getting situated back to where we are physically. Okay. Well, I definitely had a wonderful meditation with you all. Thank you. Um, so I do like to discuss a little bit. I don't have any formal material today. Sometimes I have, a mystical story, or reading, but I think today it's a small group and it's nice because we can talk a little bit more. Everyone can have a little bit of time to talk. So I can share a little bit of my experience. Yeah, it was just very beautiful to feel the width of the heart, and particularly I felt with the shoulders this time, this energy just going out almost to infinity. It was very beautiful, coming up from the earth like a tree, kind of like a tree branch going way out on both sides. And it felt very stabilizing, kind of this, you know, tough kind of stability that came. And that was very notable for me. So, every time we do these practices, it's never the same. I've done this practice probably for 10 years. I've done it many, many times, and there's always something new. So something to experience. All right. So I'm excited about it. We have a second practice. So And if anyone needs to leave
Yeah.
at 8 o'clock, please just go ahead and go. But we're gonna, probably go for another, I'd say another half hour, if you'd like to stay. So I invite you to close your eyes, and we're just gonna kind of touch on the steps before, but we're gonna move a little bit more quickly. And so again, we begin by tuning into the body, just feeling it's kind of like we're doing a body scan, and is just placing our attention anywhere in our body, maybe with our breath, just mostly feeling the body from the feet to the legs to the stomach and chest and arms and head, back. And then we again tune into the breath. And, I think we will notice that the breath has shifted some. And in this practice, we're doing more or less the opposite element, which is the fire element. And so this is simply a different breathing pattern to indicate the fire element. So we inhale with the mouth and we exhale with the nose. And so just we gently begin very gently sipping the air in from the nose. One of our teachers in our tradition, Peer Vilayat, would say it's a gentle sipping, like you're sipping a straw with a straw down the neck, with the mouth. I'm sorry, I think I said the nose. We breathing in through the mouth, like we're sipping, from a straw. At least at the beginning, it's gentle, and then we breathe out through the nose. And the exhale is more full. There's more volume to the exhale. So it's just like before, we begin with this breath. We feel the air and the breath coming into the body and back out the nose. And then we begin the deep in the breath. Same steps as before. We put our hand on our stomach. And just deepening the inhale, deepening the exhale. And we always like to suggest that at the end of the exhale, it can be very helpful to flex the stomach muscles a little bit. That helps to get a little bit more of the air out. And that's kind of the secret to breathing more fully for some of us. Usually we find that either we're a specialist one way or the other. Either the inhale comes easily or the exhale comes more easily. So just something to notice. And then I invite you to put your hand on your chest. So just like before, really the only difference is we're breathing in through the mouth and out through the nose, and see if we can get in touch with our heartbeat. Okay. And so we're going to proceed with this journey into the fire element. And so we begin our journey with what we call the solar plexus. So there's this special part in the body. I do encourage us to sort of find this spot. This is tender spot where the rib cages meet. It's kind of well, we can say it's at the bottom of our hearts. It's in between the stomach and the chest. Where the rib cages meet, there's this sensitive central spot. This is also in our tradition what we call the third chakra, the solar plexus chakra. This is a very special place in mystical tradition, in our meditation tradition. And with the fire element, it is, where we breathe, where we inhale, right? So we inhale with the breath from this special place. So it's kind of like from all around the solar plexus, when we inhale, the energy goes, sort of collects there. And then just like in nature, when we're working with a fire element, it is rising energy. So this mystical place, at the bottom of our hearts, where we inhale, and then when we exhale, the energy moves, it kind of gradually, at first it's very gently rises, if that makes sense. And in a way, it's kind of like warming our chest, right? So, but I think classically the way we describe this is with every breath, this part of our body becomes warmer. The energy really sort of, the imagery here is we're kindling a fire. And so here at the bottom of our heart, we're kindling a fire with every breath. It grows more hot. At first, it's just collecting, the embers are collected there at the bottom of our heart. And so we just have our attention in this part of the body. And we can use our imagination at first, and with every breath, these embers are becoming hotter and hotter. And then we just focus on this breathing pattern, inhaling through the mouth, exhaling through the nose with the attention in the solar plexus. And then the energy just naturally rises. And some of us may actually feel this energy warming our hearts, warming our chest. And then we may even feel the energy going much further, rising up even to the heavens. There really is no limit to this energy. It's like we're sending energy and light up to the stars. But back here, back here on Earth, the it's like a gentle fire that's warming the heart center. And so our hearts are being nourished by this warmth, by this energy, by this flame, by this fire. With every breath, grows warmer, the flames get stronger. And many different interesting things can happen in these meditations. Some of us start to see forms of light. Fire can come in different colors. And this is very, very nourishing for us. The heart loves this energy, loves this attention. And then it really starts to become, with every breath, this fire becomes stronger. It's like every breath is fueling the fire. And very much like, we have this symbology with the earth element where we give that which no longer serves us. There's a similarity here with the fire element because again, with these flames, gold is tested by fire. Fire is a very, there is a renewal. There's a renewal with fire, and so we can give all that no longer serves us to and give it to the flames, and that which is impure will be burned away, and what is left is gold. And then there are many, many wonderful qualities of the fire element. And one of them is starting something new, rebirth. We can think in nature, fire has its wonderful purposes. When there is a forest that is in flames, well, that's an opportunity for new life, for new trees to have a chance, right? And so it has its place in nature. And very often, as we do this practice more, we start to experience a lot of light, because that is the most pure form of fire, is light. So some of us may be feeling that our hearts become very luminous, almost like a miniature sun. And with every breath, it grows brighter. And so here, going back to our theme, when our hearts are energized, with these energies of the fire element, we have the energy to be ourselves, to be our authentic selves. And so one of those qualities is that we have the energy, to truly be ourselves with others, to be generous with others. And while I would say one of the hallmark qualities of earth is peace, one of the core qualities of fire is truth. As we are more our authentic selves, we can live our truth. The fire element is very wonderful for making decisions. What is the real truth? What is the highest truth? There's many beautiful qualities of fire. Another is joy. Sometimes it gets to such places where people, who are really in tune with this type of meditation, they call it ecstasy. You know, it's sort of just almost like high on life, but really high on something very, very deep inside of us. Where again, we don't need energy from other people. We can energize ourselves. We can nourish our own hearts with light. And so what else is there to do than celebrate? And then the fire element, is wonderful practice to achieve, to fulfill our purpose. In this, with the fire element, we have a very strong forward dimension. We're so energized with energy and light that we're ready to take on the world. We're ready to do what we are meant to do, what we were designed to do. Truly, truly. And so here I do encourage us to start to breathe, inhaling from the back. So it's almost like nourishing the spine. So the spine sits before the heart behind us. And so we inhale from behind, and we're nourishing our back and our hearts from behind with the inhale. Again, breathing in through the mouth. And then on the exhale, we are exhaling. Really, very often we can even feel light exhaling from in front of our hearts. So this is where we like to take this. Once the heart is well energized, once we kind of started this fire, then we this is what we call the forward dimension of the heart. And it can be very, very supportive. This inhaling into the spine and the heart, it's very nourishing. It's very stabilizing. It's very supportive. The spine is very much a symbol of support. And then on the exhale, as we breathe forward, we're breathing this light into the world. And guess what? This is the forward orientation is all about those that we love in the world, the things we need to do in the world. And in our tradition, we talk a lot about our purpose. We are here for a reason. And it's sort of can be very hidden at first. There's all these challenges in life, and very often people have told us things that are totally against what we are here to do. But when we finally have the energy, we have the light, we can rediscover these truths, start to uncover what we're really here to do. Okay. And so I invite you to return the breath, but more or less back to our everyday rhythm. We can relax into the chair, kind of go back to our everyday sitting mode. And I invite you to Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes and look around the room. Well, I bow to you. I had a wonderful meditation. My only problem is I wanted to go on for another hour with you. Um, but I felt quite a lot of light in that practice. Yeah, especially coming forward. It was like a beam of light shining out from the heart very vertically like this. And that was very beautiful. Well, thank you so much. I think, you all know my website if you ever want to reach me or anything, have any questions. I do private sessions and all of that. So, thank you for coming. Blessings to you all.